Good afternoon and welcome to the Creative Adjustment meeting for February 20th, 2025. My name is Brian. I'll be chairing the meeting today. First order of business is any pecuniary interest by any of the board members. Take that as a no. Our first application today is an application for consent, 34 College Street East in Belleville. The owner is Pathways to Independence and staff.
Thank you, Chair. The subject property is located at 34 College Street East and currently consists of a legal non-conforming 4-unit dwelling. This consent application proposes to sever the northern portion of the property to create a new lot for a 1-unit detached dwelling. The lot is currently zone R1, which does not permit the existing 4-unit dwelling. Therefore, as a condition of consent, a rezoning is required to rezone the lot to an appropriate residential zone. Staff notes that the city is undertaking a residential intensification project, which includes a zoning bylaw amendment to rezone specific corridors within the city from the R1 zone to the R2 zone. The zoning bylaw amendment was approved on February 10 and affects this property. Once the appeal period expires, the subject property will be zoned R2 and the associated provisions will apply to both the severed and retained lots. However, the retained lot still does not meet the minimum required lot area for a 4-unit dwelling within the R2 zone. Therefore, zoning relief is included as a condition of consent to a future minor variance application. At this time, no comments have been received from the public regarding this application. Back to you, Chair.
Thank you. Okay, is there anyone here from Pathway or Van Houston to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Isaac Van Heusen. I'm the applicant acting on behalf of Pathways.
Any additional questions, comments?
No, I just think this is just a great example of the way in which Pathways can add to their inventory of affordable residential units that they provide for their clientele, which I think is a really good thing. It's a great organization. Yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward stuff. Includes what we're suggesting here.
Is the building going to be used for Pathways?
Yes.
The new building?
Yeah.
Okay. How many units are planned for that?
It's going to be a single family dwelling with secondary residence. So it's hopefully two.
Any questions for this gentleman?
The existing building is approximately how
Yes.
50, 60.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a little bit.
Right. Well,
Where's the driveway for this new building?
We're going to do an extensive site plan, but we'll probably have it coming, well, it will definitely, the new building will be off
North Park.
There's already looks like an existing,
there's a little like an existing,
Is there an existing one there?
yeah, little something.
something there.
So that'll leave no parking for the building on the corner, the existing building?
No, the existing building has parking off.
On the other side.
Wondered.
Yeah.
And because of the type of residents that are there won't be a whole lot of traffic up in staff vehicles.
Yeah, other than staff
Yeah.
vehicles. I mean, we recognize that they should sell it to anybody in the
Yeah.
future, but we'll have adequate parking. Do our designs.
Any questions for this gentleman? If anyone else wishes to comment on 34 College Street,
Brian,
go ahead.
could the actual driveway that's there now, could it be used as a place as opposed to North Park?
Well, yeah, because they own both property, they will own both properties. We were thinking maybe we could wrap around from the backside, just to have access on for both of the housing and things like that. Get have options to get onto College or get onto North Park. I mean, that wouldn't be something that would be transferred.
My only question is if North Park at that place with turn lane going north. You've got traffic here, traffic there. It is another, I know there's a driveway. Is there a driveway there now?
Yeah, there is kind of a
Here?
driveway there now. We would be right beside the driveway to,
So-
as well.
It's near the tree line then.
Yeah,
Okay, well, that's further north.
Yeah.
Might have been.
Okay,
Okay,
any other questions? If not, motion?
Sorry, sir, you have something to say?
Oh.
Thank you.
Sorry, can I say something?
Yes, sir.
Yes. My name is Chris Fleury. I own 9 North Park, which is, it's actually the blue building there on the bottom one on the left. So
Where the van is?
Deeper. That's a top.
Where the building is,
top,
okay. Yeah.
So, it has been, I mean, my question, my reason for coming today was to find out exactly what the building was going to be used for, and if it was going to be used for another, Pathways to Independent, home. I can tell you it's very difficult living next to Pathways. There are, my understanding is people who have, traumatic brain injuries and that sort of thing. My wife was chased down the street at one point by one of the residents, resulted in the police being called. She was with her children, with 3 young children. There's a gentleman who, this hasn't happened since last summer, it's so cold, but he, I don't know how to describe it. He sort of shadow boxes with himself outside, but it's frightening. It's honestly frightening. And we had to, at one point, we had to take our kids inside because of that. My concern is obviously that right now there's a buffer zone between Pathways and our property. But if this goes through, it's, you know, it's a very small property. I don't know how you fit a whole other residence in there. I mean, you probably could, but that would mean that it would be within feet of our property. I don't know if you get a sense of it, sort of looking at that, but the property line is right where those trees are. So it would be right next to our property in here. I'm not in favor of that.
My question is, will there be a fence down on his side of the property when that building is built?
Through the chair, there's no requirement for a fence between a single detached dwelling and another single detached dwelling. We also don't regulate who lives in a dwelling. That's essentially what this application is for. So your question would be better answered by the applicants, but that would be more at their desire to have that fence.
Trees are gonna have to come down anyways.
Could they use it maybe can,
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, Pathways always tries to be a very good neighbor. So we built for them on North Park, put it around, it's 101 North Park. And we did go that way of putting up a fence, just to want for good neighbors. So I don't think it's, I mean, I'd have to discuss that with Pathways, of course, but I don't see that. It's like the realm.
so if there was a fence put down where the tree line is there, that would probably mitigate some of the issues that you may have.
Some of them, yes.
I know.
It depends on how far it goes. Like if it comes all the way to the street.
Well, the full length of the property, I would say if you're gonna build it, you should probably put the full length of the property, should not.
Through the chair, there is some limitations to where fences can be placed. There's limitations to once they go into the front yard, so past the building between the building and the street. They're only maximum 1 meter in that range, along essentially once it's in that side yard and level with the house, going back, it can be up to 8 feet there.
So it can only come, the fence can only come to the front of the house, you can't go right to the
Once
street
it,
line in the front?
once it extends past the house towards the street line, it can only be a maximum 1 meter.
Oh, in height,
Height.
not distance.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, can I just add one thing?
Sure.
The Pathways staff have always been there to deal with them. My concern is just that there's some, there's an inherent nature to what you're doing, and it is going to be disruptive inherently to some of the neighbors, despite, sorry, the residents.
Yeah, I mean, I think you experience that in every neighborhood. Something that's just specific Pathways. I don't think you can put that as a condition of our sentence, because it's not really, you know, it's got precedent. You think that, you know, we want to be good neighbors, so I think that we'll go above and beyond. I think that's pleasant for everyone. Yeah, there you go.
Longer, higher distance.
Yep.
Okay,
So I'm with Pathways Independence.
Yeah.
My name's Garrett Bell. I'm the operations manager, and like, I don't see a fence being an issue for us during the build time, but that will help
From the back of the property all the way to the front, but with the limitation
Yeah,
on the lower one.
like we haven't done a site plan yet, but. Sure.
I could use that other existing driveway, even better.
Yeah. Well, okay, any other questions? Anybody else have any comments, questions, concerns? If not, then
So through you, Mr. Chair, can we, as a committee, add a variance for this fence to make sure that it can go the length of the property to make sure that this homeowner is satisfied?
for the fence can go the length of the property, it's just that once it goes by the house, it can only be 1 meter. from
Well,
next
so
to the
say
street.
let's give them permission to make it higher than that.
Higher all the way to the, to
Sorry, just through the chair, the rationale behind limiting the fence height in the front yard is to ensure that there's visibility for people backing their driveways, pedestrian safety and traffic safety and things like that. That's the reason that these are typically fences are limited in height and time.
Yeah.
And it's like.
Maybe also to you, Mr. Chair, I'm empathetic, sir. I get it. And may God knows if my family had been, it would be scary to me too. But I don't want to put us in a position where we're saying, if Pathways as a neighbor decides to do so, I don't want to put anything that requiring such a thing. It's like saying, I don't like this neighbor, so the city's making me put up a fence. I don't want to get back into that corner. I'd like to see it happen as a good neighborly decision rather than something that we're putting in the condition in any way. I find that.
okay. Any further questions, comments? If not, do we have a motion?
A motion.
Moved, seconded by Joe, all in favor? Okay, thank you. Our next application is for a minor variance, 291 Maitland Drive, Belleville. The owner is Dale Dafo and the agent is Free Hill Engineering and staff.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. 291 Maitland Drive is located on the north side of Maitland Drive, east of Highway 62 and west of Redwood Drive. This minor variance application requests relief to reduce the minimum required interior side yard width from 7.5 meters to 1.2 meters to recognize the existing interior side yard widths of the existing buildings. This relief would facilitate the expansion of the space for warehousing and the office in the north building. It is noted that on December the 19th, 2024, the Committee of Adjustment approved 3 consent applications to allow 285 Maitland Drive to sell 2 pieces of land to 291 Maitland Drive. Although these applications will facilitate 291 Maitland Drive to expand towards the north, they will not change the interior side yard widths of the existing buildings and the proposed additions. The official plan designation of the property is employment land use. Prior to this meeting, staff have received 1 phone inquiry regarding this application. The inquirer requested more details of the proposal, specifically whether any building would be expanding closer to the east lot line. Staff clarified the scope of the proposed work and explained that the expanded building would not be located any closer to the east lot line. Back to you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone here, Dale Dafo or from Free Hill Engineering? Right, okay, do you have any additional questions, comments?
No, I think, expand the office and the warehouse, the chief of the work.
Okay, yeah, we dealt with this back in December, I guess, wasn't it? Yeah. Anybody have any questions for this gentleman? Or anybody in the audience have any questions, comments, concerns? Everybody's happy, then
I'll move.
moved by Jack, seconded by Robert, all in favor? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, our next application is an application for consent 837 Casey Road, Val, Ontario, and the owner is Lloyd Prince. And the applicant is what?
Yeah, we put.
Thank you, Chair. The subject land located at 837 Casey Road is currently zoned as agricultural zone. The property is developed with a one-unit detached dwelling and several accessory buildings, including 2 barns which are not used for housing livestock. This consent application proposes to sever the existing surplus dwelling along with 2 accessory buildings onto a separate lot with a lot area of 4,800 square meters and lot frontage of 30.8 meters on Casey Road. This proposed consent would result in a minimum lot frontage less than required by the zoning bylaw for both the severed and retained lots. In addition, the lot area of the retained lot would be less than the required. Therefore, as a condition of consent, the corresponding minor variance application has been submitted to address the reduced lot frontage for the severed lot, as well as the reduced lot area and lot frontage for the retained lot. Additionally, a zoning bylaw amendment is required as a condition of consent to rezone the severed parcel to a rural residential zone, while the retained lot will be rezoned to a site-specific agriculture zone to prohibit any future residential development on the retained lot and prevent the use of the existing barns for the housing of livestock. At this time, no comments have been received from the public regarding this application.
Is Lloyd here or Watson?
And not Lloyd. Jennifer from Watson Land Surveyors. We're the agent for this file, just here to answer any questions. It seems fairly straightforward. We've got a justification report from a professional planner included for the deficient 30 meters of frontage from the 45 required for a rural residential lot.
So they're basically just separating the house from the agricultural so they can dispose of it or do
Yeah,
whatever.
so normally it would be 45 meters frontage that we have to do. And in this case, the farmer felt very strongly about the top value of that land and wanted to, I'm not sure if it shows up very clear in those pictures, but it's very much farmed. It's even farmed over in, they're still going to lose some crops with this configuration, but at least it's better than losing a lot more of it. Yeah. It's surplus farming. So we've reviewed all the conditions with the landowner and they agree with them.
Any questions for this lady? Anybody else in the audience wishes to comment on Casey Road?
This is Sarah. She's with me. She's
Okay.
a new staff member, so she's kind of here to just take notes. She's hopefully not.
She's here learning. Okay, if there's no further questions, comments, motion? Michael, seconded by
Sure.
Scott, all in favor? Okay, our next is a minor variance pertaining to the same property, so staff, you want to?
Thank you, Chair. This minor variance application is to facilitate the corresponding consent application previously discussed for the subject property. As an anticipated condition of consent, this minor variance application requests to reduce the minimum required lot frontage for the severed lot from 45 meters to 30.8 meters, as well as to reduce the minimum required lot area from 40 hectares to 17.6 hectares and lot frontage from 100 meters to 71.3 meters for the retained lot. At this time, no comments have been received from the public regarding this application. Chair.
Okay, thank you. No further comment, okay? And I guess there's no one there. Okay, motion? Jack, second by Robert, all in favor? Thank you. Okay, that concludes that part. Next is the confirmation of minutes of January the 16th. Motion by Robert, seconded by Scott, all in favor? Done. Any other business? Correspondence? Next meeting, March 20th. At 3:30, unless we have another issue. And if not, an adjournment. Robert. Thank you. That concludes our meeting. Thank you very much.
Nothing on property.